Welcome to the Lockdown Lowdown. I'm Dev Sahni, and it's a very special day because it's not every day that you get to speak to a living legend. It's not every day you get to speak to a champion amongst men, a national treasure. But today, Carl Frampton gets his chance. How are you, Carl?
How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How's life in lockdown?
It's okay. How long was that being planned for? That little introduction there, that was very good.
3 days.
Was it? Good man. Life's okay, mate. I suppose I'm just getting on with it, like everybody else. I feel like I'm in a lucky enough position. I've got a decent sized house with a nice garden and stuff. Kids are running about. The weather's been good. So I suppose I'm in a slightly better position than most, which is nice for us. But I don't think it's easy for anyone really.
You've been trying to help people, haven't you? Haven't you been delivering like food parcels and stuff and doing your bit for the community?
Well, I've done a bit. So I'm from North Belfast, but I train a lot in a club. I train in an amateur club just outside Belfast called Monkstown. A guy called Paul Johnson up there, Stevie Ward's old club, and he's got this kind of community project going, and he's helping to feed families up there, and he asked me to help out, so that's what I've done. And I wanted to go up and see how he does it, because I'm wanting to do something or get involved in something in North Belfast, where I'm from, which will be starting on Monday. So that's in conjunction with Crusaders football club, the team that I support. And I'm just trying to help out a wee bit, that's all, really.
Good man. This is important to you, isn't it? Because I saw you put up the link for Tro Care as well. You sort of did a little video for them and the effect that coronavirus can have on those that are significantly less fortunate. This is quite important stuff.
Yeah, well, look, I think when you're in a position to help out, you should be able to do that. If you've got a bit of a platform to use, like I do, I think you should. And that's all I'm doing. I went on a trip with Tro Care to Kenya, and it was one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life, like what these people have to do just to survive really on a daily basis. And this is before the coronavirus epidemic.
Talk about using your platform, right? I noticed you put up a video the other day. It was the KTA challenge, which was kick-ups against wall. You did all right. You did all right. Well done. But the thing that stuck out to me was you nominated a few people, and right at the end, you nominated Barry McGuigan. Has he done one for you yet?
I don't think he's done one. I didn't expect him really to do one. But the real reason why I wanted him to do it was because I know he's not very good at football, and it would have been funny watching it.
It would have been funny. As Warrington or who else was it? Bellew come back as well.
Josh Warrington and Tony Bellew. I've seen a few people that nominated Tony. So I wanted to nominate him to see if that kind of twisted his arm. I don't think it has. I don't know if Josh has done it either. I don't think anyone listens to him anymore. So
I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure, we'll check the internet tomorrow and there'll be like 10 Barry McGuigan videos, him just doing it. So we won't worry about that, Carl. Now let's talk boxing. Firstly, this whole fight with Jamel Herring, when you first met him after your fight with Tyler McCreary, were you surprised at how big he is?
No, I knew he was a big lad. He was wider than I thought. I think that a lot of that may have been down to the fact that he probably wasn't in camp, and I think his suit probably wasn't fitted properly either. So it made him look bigger. But yeah, I'd say he was probably the pictures of me and him in the ring together after my last fight. He looks about 12 stone in the photographs. Now I'm not sure if there's any truth in that or how close he was to 12 stone, but he looked big. And everyone's going, oh, look at the size difference here. But I'm looking at that going, this guy has to make 9 stone 4. So that's what I'm taking from it. He still has to do the weight. It'll be hurting him to do the weight a lot more than me. But I boxed as low as 8 stone 10 at super bantamweight, and he boxed as high as a light welterweight. So it's going to hurt him a lot more. But he's really dedicated. You can see that he's got a strong mentality as well. You can see that he lives a life, and I like to think that I do as well. But I know that it'll be a little bit tougher for him to make the weight than it will be for me.
This fight never got announced. Now, you've had like a few delays in your career, especially within the last few years. There's been bits and bobs going wrong here and there. How did you react to the latest kind of obstacle thrown at you?
I don't think it's affected me that much because we're all in the same boat here. So this isn't personalized for me. Coronavirus has ruined my fight out. It's affected the whole world, the whole boxing community as well, and everyone is being affected by it. But I suppose a positive I can take from it is the fight has pretty much been agreed without officially being announced. And I'm pretty sure that it will happen at some point whenever it becomes, we understand a bit more what's happening and when restrictions ease a little bit. But I'm pretty sure the fight will happen. A good point my wife made the other day was, if I hadn't have had my hand operations and I was waiting on them now, it might have been a different story, because obviously stuff like that are being postponed, and who knows what the situation I'm in and the stage I'm at in my career.
Yeah.
If I've been waiting on hand surgery and then I had to wait on a fight and then to recover for a fight, it might have been the end. You know what I mean?
Might just stop waiting.
Yeah. So it's I was lucky enough I got them in before this madness started.
Well, he fought a couple of weeks before you. He's a little bit older than you. Do you think this delay suits you more than it suits him? Absolutely suits me. He fought before me, so he had a longer layoff. Another thing that I'm taking and trying to be positive about is I've got a little bit of a gym set up here at my house. I've got a bag I can hit. I've got a full squat rack and dumbbells up to 30 kilos. I have a treadmill, row machine. I can run the nice country roads here. And I'm kind of looking at that and saying, people aren't in the same position as me, but they may be able to go for a run from the house and do some press-ups in the front room or whatever. So I'm using this to kind of hopefully get ahead of the game. And when the restrictions are lifted a little bit, it won't be as long for me I won't have to do. I like a 12-week camp, but if I'm continuing to train here, 10, maybe 9, 8 weeks might do me after this. He said that, I was watching an interview of him earlier, he said that you're not going to try and box him because he's so much bigger than you, and it would be foolish for you to try to box at range because you would just lose a decision. He said you're going to try and bang with him on the inside, and sooner or later the size again will catch up with you and you're going to be in a dogfight. What do you think to that?
Well, that's his opinion. I think that he could be outboxed. I know he's got a big size advantage over me, but I think that his feet are slow. He doesn't punch that fast either. I think that in the middle rounds, he kind of gets a little bit lazy, and it's almost like he cruises and he doesn't want to exert too much energy if he doesn't have to. And I've seen that happen a number of times in a few fights that he's had. So I've outboxed bigger people than me before. And there's different ways to skin a cat. So I'm not going to give too much away. But if he just thinks I'm going to come head first, then maybe he'd like to reassess.
Very interesting to see how you approach this one, and we're looking forward to it. If you get this win, 4-time 3-weight world champion, that's the stuff of legend, right?
It would be, I don't know. It would be amazing, really. Kind of, knocking on the door of the Hall of Fame type stuff. So that's what I'm doing it for, and that's what I want. I want people to remember me as a great fighter, and to become a 3-weight world champion would put me in a bracket of great fighters from the UK and Ireland.
Well, that's the WBO super featherweight title. there is another guy in the Queensberry promotion stable that has his eyes also set on that title. He's number 3 ranked with the WBO, Archie Sharp. Now, he's been giving predictions about this fight, and he wants to fight the winner. Obviously, he wants to get himself into position. He's the young guy calling you out. What do you know about Archie?
I think he's a good fighter. He's an up-and-coming fighter. I think he's decent. I can't really say too much more than that. He's a decent fighter. I still think he has to prove himself on the world stage. But I think if he gets an opportunity to fight me or Jamel Herring, that gives him the opportunity to show what he's all about and prove himself. But he's a good fighter. There's some good fighters coming up. I think a fight Archie Sharp and Anthony Cacace would be a fantastic fight. Anthony was a good friend of mine, and he's a quality fighter. I would got someone peeking in the door here, one of the kids. What are you doing?
I heard something on my roof and it knocked 3 times.
Something knocked 3 times?
It wasn't like
a ghost?
Yeah, there's a killer.
A killer, right? Go on tell your mum.
And look at this
Right, looks like a young Carl Frampton.
Do you think so?
I think so. Yeah. I think he's got your face.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, good.
But I've lost what I was talking about. Sorry, Anthony Cacace. I think him and Archie Sharp would be. Anthony Cacace and Archie Sharp would be a fantastic fight, and I think that's a fight that Anto I would pick to win that fight. But Archie's a up and coming kid, and plenty about him as well.
Yeah, well, talking about Anthony Cacace, you were ahead of his fight with Sam Bowen, his British title shot. You spoke to me about him, and you said you feared that he would be one of those wasted talents, unfulfilled potential, and he's your old mate. How pleasing was it for you to see him win the British title?
I was delighted for him, and I think he's only kind of touching what he can really do. I know Anto, I know him pretty well, and I have for a long time, and I know how he can fight. I know how hard he punches, and it's kind of one of them ones where the record doesn't really suggest it. But he's a serious puncher. And if he just knuckles down and gets his head focused on boxing properly, Anto can mix it with the best of them. I really mean that. And that sounds maybe like an over-exaggeration, but knowing what he can do in the gym, it really isn't an exaggeration.
Good stuff. All right. Well, look, away from boxing, I've heard a little rumour that you've started learning the guitar.
Yeah. Hold on. Right. Go on over your guitar.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on. Get the guitar. Go on.
He's got his ukulele, wee man.
Right.
But I've started learning, but I've done nothing for about 5 days, and I'm a little bit ashamed of myself for that. But I've just picked it up and I've started. I'm learning with someone who you may know, but he wants to remain anonymous. So I need to get back into it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, next time we do check in, I want a verse and a chorus, and also you can sing a bit. So you'll be dangerous, mate. I mean, guitar, singing.
That's all I want to do. Like, I would love to be a proper singer, and if I could sing a few songs and do a few songs, I think that I'd probably get to a point where I annoy people with how often I have the guitar out.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, right now, every time I turn on social media, you're singing something different right now. It feels like everyone's probably requested it.
Sometimes I take things seriously and I sing and I try to sing properly. Other times I'm taking the piss, right? So
sure.
People are laughing at me for how I sung the Bob Marley number for the VIP gym thing that we've done, but I was singing in a Jamaican accent. I was taking the piss, obviously.
Yeah.
The song you asked me to sing for all the Queensberry boys.
Yeah.
Pretty difficult song to sing until you get into the chorus.
Yeah.
So the bit that you have me sing, I never sang. My chorus was better than the first bit. We have to start really low. So I like to think I'm a half decent singer when I want to be.
I mean, if you want, I can release the full version of your song. I mean, that's here. If you feel you've got to defend it, it's here. I've also got a full video of Troy Williamson singing in the shower as well, which is sort of unreleased, just on this device right here. But yeah, okay, good stuff. So, any final word to your fans? Anything you can tell them to convince them to stay in?
I think that, I don't know. You see it everywhere. Everyone's saying the same thing. Stay indoors and save lives. And it sounds like, I'm not trying to be, whoa, listen to me. But it really does. And I think people are starting to listen to it now. I've been doing it. I've been going out from my house, and we've been doing family walks kind of from our door and a couple of miles radius, and that's it. Then we've been going to the shop when we need to go to the shop, and delivering food when I needed to do that. But I think if people just listen and understand that, they may be fit enough and strong enough to fight off this virus, it may be someone more vulnerable that isn't, and you could easily pass it on to them. So I think just what the government's saying, stay indoors, is what people should do.
It's all we can do. All right, Carl. Well, look, we hope to see anyone in the ring soon, but we hope to see you in the ring soon against Jamel Herring. Get that chance to cement your legacy. Thanks for speaking to the Lockdown Lowdown.
Thanks, Dev.